The cards speak. Just oh my gosh. Is it Mercury retrograde or what? My mic is muted or was muted. My intros started incorrectly, but here we are. Welcome to the shadow of Mercury retrograde. Isn't it lovely? We have so much to look forward to, where the truth comes out. Thank you so much, my darlings. Thank you. Thank you. Patty, listen, I thought of you when I was putting this on because I've got to tell you, this stuff, look, wait. Hello. It's like, see you next year when this stuff comes off. Hello. But I love it. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, oh, my darlings. Thank you. Thank you. Well, thank you very much for being here. This is an impromptu live because I was watching Attorney Melanie Little today. And if you're watching Miss Mel, hello and thank you, my darlings. This is a case. This is the young lady right here. I have added her to the board. And this is a very sad case, kind of like Carly Gregg. But I saw her on that other platform that's called the Talkity Tick type thing. Okay. And she was on there. I actually saved it and I didn't know who she was. She was on there begging for the true crime community to get involved because her parents were unalived in the state of Georgia, outside of Atlanta, west of Atlanta. So, my darlings, okay, so I'm going to address this early. Hello, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. I got a pair of red glasses that I was going to wear tonight. And when I put them on, the lens was scratched. Boo-hoo. But I'll just order another pair because hello. They're the Amazon goodies, and thank you. The lipstick, I have absolutely I don't know what it is because I always mix them. It's a cross between some type of lipstick that Mrs. Marie from True Oracle sent me and all kinds of different lip stuff, lip pencils, dimension, all of that stuff. So I thought that I would wear these tonight. It is kind of a lip stain. I think it's an off-brand. I've never seen it before, and the name is kind of worn off. So hey, listen, I've always been a lipstick girl, if you all know me. I can put a sweatshirt on and look like, as I say, I'm going to walk into a room eating a banana like a primate, but I'm going to have lipstick on. That and perfume. So thank you so much. Okay, back to the case. So let me tell you about this. And thank you so much, my darlings, because you are also wonderful. Thank you. Um, so here's the thing. And I've got some show notes here. This is so sad. On the outside, on the urban side of Atlanta. Now, I made some show notes, and I'm going to put up this little thing here because, well, we may get some triggers. Okay, so I've got to do that disclosure. If you're triggered, my darlings. Okay, so there we are. This bothered me when I saw her just a few days ago on the talkie tip. She has been incarcerated. She was arrested. So I'm going to kind of give you an idea of what has happened, the rundown. I'm going to give you the rundown because I think this is a case that we need to follow. Pardon me. And cheers and welcome to all that are from True Oracle. I love it. And this is impromptu. I'm sorry, this isn't our normal night. I'm still going to go live tomorrow night. And by the way, there has been a show change for next Thursday night. The folks from CAB, Calling All Beings, will not be coming on because Dr. Turtleboy will be going on their show Thursday night. So we'll do something, okay? We'll do something, plenty of things for us to do. Here are the show notes before I get too distracted. Here's the case overview. This young lady's name is Sarah Grace Patrick. She is now 17. She is accused of fatally wounding, I'm going to say it that way because we all know what it is, her mother, Kristen Brock, 41, and her stepfather, James Brock, who is 45, in their bed February 20th of 2025 in Carroll County, Georgia. Their 6-year-old and a half, I think she's just now 6, discovered her parents and then told Sarah, and Sarah made the 911 call. So it was the little girl, the half-sister, that found the two parents. Horrible. That's Bilbo. Orbs are going on. You know the drill. Lots of energy. Okay, so as I was telling you, the talkie tick narrative. So Sarah started posting very emotional videos, very emotional shorts, and afterward framing herself as a grieving daughter and seeking help, and even reaching out to the true crime influencer community to discuss the Brock case. That outreach raised a lot of eyebrows, and she got a lot of attention for it. The question was she really genuinely seeking justice or crafting a false narrative? There are two sides of the aisle. I'm going to give you my thoughts when we get closer through this. The funeral speech, because she actually gave a eulogy at her parents' funeral. The investigators felt that this was very theatrical because before they arrested her, the investigators had been watching her and actually went to the funeral. So they watched her the whole time, and noting that in her final words, she said, "I'm sorry." And to the investigators, that felt out of place. And they felt that it was maybe self-incriminating and possibly hinting of guilt. Now, some of the relatives have found her expression, very insincere. And it was actually her bio dad that turned her in to the police. But her paternal grandfather, Dennis Nolan, strongly defends her, and he is offering a $5,000 reward for the real unalivers. You know what I'm talking about. So investigators, the sheriff's office, GBI, which is the Georgia Bureau of Investigations, the FBI was, and are analyzing the physical and digital clues, and they're doing this all within just a few days of charging her. So no clear motive has been established, but more arrests aren't ruled out. So when I watched the news conference today, their spokesperson basically said, "We're not ruling out other people. We just don't know." So they're leaving that door open. They said there is no forced entry, and it indicates there's an inside job. Now, there's some things there, okay? First of all, from a family dynamic, it is said that Sarah reportedly lived with various family members and moved around a lot, and they thought this could contribute to drama or motive. I don't know. I don't know. The sibling drama of her little sister, who is 6 years old, is now described as the saddest victim that they have ever seen. Rightfully so. The grandfather's staunch support and reward offer suggests a family is split and emotional defenses and collective grief. Now, here's a little tidbit of information that it does, how dare you, it does smell kind of like Carly Gregg, but I'm going to back up just a little bit. They looked back at some of her Facebook posts and some of the Facebook posts of her mother talking about that she was afraid. She was talking about that she was afraid. And come to find it out, the stepdad, Mr. Brock, who's no longer here, who lost his life, was a felon. Now, okay, I don't care what anybody is, all right? I know many felons, and I know many felons who are probably nicer, and this is Shaggy Noodle, who are probably nicer than the Christians that go, "Let me move this thing, thank you," that go to church every Sunday and claim they are, okay? So no judgment here. I don't care about that. But what I do care is that somebody other than this were saying that he was involved in some, yeah, that's your Shaggy Jerry. He was involved with a very heavy duty biker gang. And they're thinking that there may be something nefarious coming from that angle. But, and you know how I am with these police investigators, right? Because here's the way I look at it. I've been in this for a very long time. I know a lot of people on both sides of the aisle. There, and from the I'm being very careful because I'm watching the chat. We have to be careful with some of these things, you know. From all of the evidence from the Karen Reed case, and you know how all of these investigators, police officers dropped the ball, didn't do their job, I am suspicious. I am just as suspicious of the investigators. Sorry for the good guy. Whoa, that looked weird. Sorry for the good guys that are out there that do their job. But I'm still suspicious. I'm just as suspicious as I am of the criminals. And I think rightfully so, because I'm going to tell you something. Sometimes when these investigators, authorities, let's say this, when they want to nail somebody, they make sure they nail that person. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what evidence. And the fact that we have a grandfather over here that has basically said, I don't believe this. I want to see the evidence. The investigators say there's a mountain of evidence in this case. Where is it? They say they've got all kinds of things. They haven't released it. Where is it? Maybe they will. I don't know. But I think that there are some other things that are contributing. I'm not saying that she didn't do it. I'm not saying that she did. No judgment. What I'm saying is do a thorough and full investigation. Now, this young lady, who is now 17, she may have been 16 when this happened. They are trying her as an adult, and she is facing life in prison without any possibility of parole. On a good day, that's about 70 years, 70 years. I mean, I'll be long gone before that young lady has an opportunity to get out. I hope not. I hope for her sake. But they say that she's cooperating. She is incarcerated. She's working with authorities, and she's got a public defender. Now, I don't know. I think Grandpa probably should have given the $5,000 and more, because this case is going to be more than, it's probably going to be close to $50,000 to just get started on this case. So she's got a public defender. And pardon me for saying this, public defenders are overworked, underpaid, and many times now they just think, well, we'll plea them out. They're not there many times. There are a few cases, but they are not there many times to actually defend. They are there to do the best they can with a presumption of guilt, even though they say, innocent before guilty. They're overworked. They can't do this. They're underpaid. So let's get a plea. And many people do that because it is a frightening process to go through this thing. So that's what I know so far. There's no motive, Standing Stones. Thank you so much. We don't have a motive. The investigators are basically saying, look, motive could possibly be that she's been moving around a lot. She's been she was actually begging her bio dad to come and stay with him, but I think he's got some health problems from what I understand. Now, some of this is still, it's still sketchy, but there's some holes. Mrs. Marie, you darling, you're the one who gave me this lipstick, and I don't even know what it is. And Mrs. Marie told me to get the red frame glasses, and I put them on tonight because I got a package of 3. One is just a dark black rim. It's my everyday, library look. I love these. But I put the red ones on and they're scratched. I guess I could wear them, but I would feel like my eyeball is falling out by the end of the day. But thank you, my darling. Thank you. There you go. There you go. Okay, so back to the subject at hand. And I want to thank my mods for being in here tonight. Captain Jerry, she's top shelf. Captain Jerry is top shelf. Massachusetts lawyers, the public defenders, are paid half of what other nearby states are, and they walk away now. They're releasing people that are arrested. I heard that today. There is a basic law that says if you don't get representation and get a hearing within so many days, they have to release you because it is not constitutional. Okay. But, don't get me started on Massachusetts. They paid this primate, a real banana eater, this primate $566,000, and that doesn't even include his paralegal, Miss Pencil Skirt, that's got the hots for him. Help me, please. Here, you can have him. He's all yours. And then they spent $400,000 on Arbiture. They spent another $130,000 buying another vehicle. Hello, we're over $1 million to prosecute the Karen Reed case twice. This is the second time. We're not even going to get, hello. So, hi there, my darlings. I don't know, Jules. I don't know. Maybe somebody else in here can help you with that. I don't know. This young lady's name, I should have put it down here on the thing. Her name is Sarah Grace Patrick. The whole thing is disgusting. What's going on with our justice system? What's going on with our legal system? Just what is going on? So, my darlings, what we're going to do tonight is I'm going to be doing a psychic mediumship reading for the energy of this young lady. Now, I'm not going to do any EVPs because right now I just feel that we are too young in this for me to invite any type of energy to come in over a spirit box or an EVP. I want to get some more details, more evidence, more, anything around this young lady. So I'm going to be reading cards. I have a list of questions. Remember last week when I did the pendulum over the floor plan of 34 Fairview. So there we go. Now, Annie, that is an excellent question, my darling. They say they have mountains of evidence, but they're just not releasing anything. They're not telling us what it is. But they've looked through her phone. They've looked through her accounts. They have a lot of circumstantial, I believe. They had a lot of circumstantial. But there's some other things that are going on. Now, another case that we're going to be looking into is the case. Oh my heck! And I lost what her name is. Let me get her name because this one we are going to be using the pendulum on, my darlings. And let me get this name for you and this information for you if I can get my stuff to cooperate. Let me see. It is okay. This is about allegations of some type of ritualized goings on in Rockland County woods, and that is involving Homeland Security, New Jersey, the Attorney General's office, and many, many others. And it is about a young lady who filed against her father, who happens to be a sheriff, and a neighbor, saying allegedly, supposedly, they have been taking her and others in a particular wooded area and playing games. It's pretty disturbing. We're going to be using that. We're going to be going on that one. So that one is woof. Hello. But for right now, this is what we're going to do. So yeah, that's a bad one. And it's her mother, her and her sister, and the mother is filing for divorce from the father. Woofy. Is that who it is? It's Aaron Caffey. Okay, Jules, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know. 10 years ago, when I was in the crime thing, 20 years ago when I was in the crime thing, these crimes never seemed as bad as what they are right now. It's getting more and more evil. And I think it's because more and more people get away with it. But I don't know. You would think that we are in a day and age of technology that, pardon me here, in technology that I'd be afraid to do anything. I mean, first thing they do is get your phone, search through your social media, search. I mean, they would have a field day with my stuff because I'm constantly researching stuff for doing books and writings and questions and everything else. It's like, I don't know. Maybe it's just my day. Maybe it's just my age. Maybe. I don't know, my darlings. I don't know. There are some times that I just have to get up and sing a song. You know what I mean? I have to get up and just take a breath because we're still not done with Officer John. We're just getting started. So it's hello and crazy time. We are in crazy time. Okay, so this is what we're going to do, my darlings. I have a list of questions. I have a camera. I'm going to show you the cards. And while I'm doing this, I'll be able to read your super chats, but I'm not going to be able to pay too much other attention to the chat right now, only because it's kind of sort of distracting. So let me get set up here. I have 3 decks of cards I'm going to use. Make sure you can't see my bare feet under the table that I'm sitting, right? Hello. That wouldn't go down with this platform. Okay, my darlings, here we are. Here we are. Okay. Now, pardon me, I hit this. I'm going to set this. We're going to get ready. Here we go, my darlings. Let me get my questions. There we are. Yes, you can see everything now. Here's the show notes, my darlings. Gotta have it. Gotta have it. Yeah, listen, I'm constantly in my bare feet because it's grounding. You gotta be grounded. Okay. So I'm asking for spirits, guides, angels to guide us with the energy of this particular reading. Okay. I'm going to ask, because my darlings, I got a question. Oh, look, scribble, scribble. I've got questions. If the stepdad is a felony, or a felon, what's he doing with a pew-pew in his house? Because they said that there's no sign of entry. That in itself makes me raise some questions. because you know you can't have one of those. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much, my darlings. Oh, and somebody just asked me, how are we supposed to send you something if you don't put it up there? Good question. All right, here we are. That's my Venmo. Always appreciated and definitely not required. Thank you. All right. I have 3 decks of cards. Here's a tarot. I got out this What Lies Beneath and my House of Zelda cards. So that's right, resisting arrest. That was my question. That's the first card that fell out. I wish I had more room here. I have 0 room. Hello. Okay. Maybe we can do it this way. All right. It's all about timing. And I have to agree with that. It's all about timing. There's something there's just something here that bothers me about this. I'm sorry. EMM, the stepfather, I don't know, but they said that he was a felon. No judgment. I don't care. But there was a pew-pew in the house. What? See, there's too many questions, and they said he was a former biker. Now listen, I know bikers that I would trust them before I trust anybody else. So, but you know, and he's passed. So, okay, so the question is now, first question is for the card, spirits, guides, angels. And by the way, statistically speaking, children's brains do not really develop even until you're about 21 to 25. Your brain is still developing. All right. We are asking, is this crime premeditated? Is the crime premeditated? Betrayal, backstab, traitor, not to be trusted. Now, before we go on, I am going to put this banner up because I just want you to know these are my opinions. Okay? And the other thing that I do want to mention to you is this. And I have to write it all out because you see, we've got so much to talk about. Give me a second. Talk amongst yourselves, my darlings. Talk amongst yourselves because I want to make sure I have this right. I'm getting there, I promise. Okay. First of all, we've talked about trigger awareness. There may be some trigger moments in here. And so I just want to make that very clear. And it involves, there's a little girl who is 6 years old who found her parents. The other thing is, this is clairvoyant clarity. I just want to clearly state that any spiritual impressions are subjective, and legal conclusions are up to the court. These are not facts. These are my impressions based on the cards. Okay? Okay. The other thing that I do want to do really quickly is I do want to give you this image and post it and let you know that if you or someone that you know or love is in a crisis, here are the numbers for you. If you want to write those down, you can certainly do that. I will post this again before we leave today, and I just want to make sure that you all know this. Okay? So there you go. Basically, my darlings, entertainment purposes only. Can't take these facts into court. Except there was once that we could, and I'll tell you about that sometime. All right. Here's the card. Deceit, backstack, or backstab, traitor, and not to be trusted. I smell a rat. That's my I smell a rat card. Okay, so if this were premeditated, what are you going to give me? So are you telling me, Spirit, this may have been premeditated, if I can talk? The world. That is a yes. Falsehood or being lied to. That just gives me this idea, once again, that there's more to this than meets the eye. There's a lot of holes. There's a lot of holes here. So premeditated, it kind of looks like this, okay? Now, the one thing I'm not going to do is say, did Sarah do this? Because I just think that there is a respect. I mean, hello, right? The grifting psychic needs to have respect. Hello. All right, let me see this. I'm trying to figure out how I can ask this. Was Sarah by herself at the time of the unalivings? If you guys can't hear me, let me know, okay? Yeah, that's the grifting psychic. Hello. I've been called that on Twitter lately. So I think I must be doing something right. I just thought that was wonderful. Okay. Was she acting alone? The Seven of Coins or Pentacles. Someone who wants to be organized, knowing. I'm listening. Knowing that you have to put things in their proper places. Trying to make room. And nobody wants to hear that. So nobody wants to hear that they were working, someone was working, maybe other than Sarah. Yes, thank you, Jerry. Please share your DNA on your side and like and subscribe, because I'd love it if you did that. Twitter is the worst, and you know what? I don't care. That's my response to Twitter. I look at it this way. If people are that comfortable and saying nasty things, they just have too much time on their hands. You know what I always say to them? Don't you work? Do you not work? Do you not have something to do instead of sitting on here all day and being ugly? All right. So was Sarah Grace acting alone? Was she, I don't want to say acting alone. Was she alone? This is what I'm talking about. Overlooked evidence. So we have these three cards. Was she alone? Someone was trying to be organized, putting things in place, and nobody wants to hear that yet. Okay, after all, the authorities said they're not going to rule out other people. Okay? Some of these we know the answer to already. I just want to kind of get a little gig here. Okay? Hi, Isla Shoals. Yeah, I gave some show notes. You might want to back up a little bit so you can catch up a little bit, my darling. Sarah is in jail right now. She has no bond. They arrested her, charged her with double unaliving, first degree. She's facing life without parole. Life without parole. And I just got to say this. Patty I am so sorry. I just got a notification from McDonald's from Google, and I don't know why, and I said it twice. Patty McDaniel. My gosh. Zelda, stop. Relax. Patty McDaniel sent me a Venmo for Dairy Queen. I would just tell you it all come along. Cotton candy blizzards for all my friends. Thank you, my darling. You are top shelf. Thank you, thank you. Back to the case. This is why I drive people crazy, because I'm all over the place. This next one, trigger warning, okay? Trigger warning. Were the victims asleep when this happened? Did they know what was about to come? Did they know? Or a Big Mac. I don't eat Big Macs. Were the victims asleep? Did they know what was coming? Okay, why is that a secret? Tell me why that is a secret. Fake friends. Thought they could get away with it. Thought they would be winners. Thought they were doing something. Thought they were doing something that would be helpful. I'm going to leave these cards out here. I'm going to do it this way. I've shuffled. We'll just see what happens. Was there any warning? Was there any warning to the victims? Were the victims, did they have any warning? Insecure. Temperance. Now, I'm going to get really I'm going to get deep down here, my darlings. Okay. Um, Annie, um, I think she was mishandled. She wanted to go live with her father, and there were some issues there. I don't know if there's a boyfriend or not. I don't know. It didn't say anything about a boyfriend. So we're not going to accuse anybody because we don't know yet. Okay, insecure. Now I'm going to go do a little deep dive on this. The Temperance card is also the season. It's a Sagittarius card. It's also let's just get down and dirty here. This can also mean somebody in a uniform. Can be any type of, it can be an AutoZone uniform, which is, for those of you out of the country, is an auto parts store where you can buy parts for your automobile. Could be McDonald's. Somebody with a uniform. Let's remember this, my darlings. But with the, why am I shaking? That means somebody apprehensive. That means someone not know. Usually when I start shaking like that, it means that, yeah, tuning in. Thank you, Annie. So you see the wings on this beautiful angel, how they go off the frame of the card. That means there's a higher power. There's a higher power here. It means that there is much more to this than meets the eye. See this? See this pathway here where there's a crown. Further to go. I'm going to say there's two people involved. One is a female. The other one is a male. I don't, they didn't say anything about a boyfriend. So I don't know. Shaking can mean that I'm picking up apprehension about somebody that wanted to do this, or I'm picking up because somebody could have talked somebody else into doing it and they didn't want to do it and they were apprehensive. You know, you'll shake. This person who pulled this trigger was insecure. Could that pew pew have been stolen? Two people, for sure. Two people. That's my take. Not fact. Could be fiction. Okay, so back to this question. Was there an argument, a fight, a warning? Was there an argument, a fight, or a warning? Caught. Finding evidence, getting caught, cheating. So this could have been the parents confronting someone before this happened. These are thoughts, communication, someone wanting to protect their kingdom, their home, their family. Someone trying to communicate that. Someone. The pieces of the puzzle are coming together. Pieces, pardon me, of this puzzle are coming together. And I think now we are in this Mercury shadow. The pieces of this puzzle will come together. I'm going to say very quickly, we are going to hear that. Now, today, I'm going to preface this by saying today was the first time that I ever got involved because I saw it through Attorney Melanie Little's live stream. We talked about this one and then the other one in New Jersey. And then there were some other things with Karen Reed. And I was busy and cleaning and whatever. So I just didn't really, she did not have a lot. We heard the press conference about Sarah Grace. Here comes a question. Is there digital or physical evidence being ignored or altered? We already saw here that evidence is being overlooked. We definitely need to learn more about who. Copycat. What is the copycat? What is going on? Somebody, okay. Cancerian energy, someone who loves the home, but also someone who wants to get away. Someone who is a charioteer driving their own train. But you see the home in the background. Someone who wants to travel. Someone. So they arrested her and not the boyfriend. Yet. I'm going to say yet, because it's pretty clear there are two people. Do the right thing. She was definitely irresponsible, in my opinion, when it came to her little sister. Okay, next question. Now here's where it gets tough. Was Sarah Grace under any influence at the time this happened? Oh, I just heard spiritually. Okay. She was hating her situation. Doesn't surprise me. She wanted to move on. She wanted to take what was hers, and just go. Open the door. Have another opportunity. And she answered the call. What call? Right, Nate? Put the rubbish in the bin for us. Answer the call. What call does she have to answer? Or what call did she answer? Tired of confrontation, tired of misbehaving, tired of daily. I heard. Okay, thank you, misbehaving. So the boyfriend was arrested for other reasons and a good reason to keep him until they figure out what's going on. So, all right, let's keep going. I heard spiritual. Did fear or some type of misconduct, I'm going to say it that way, lead to this deed? Did they try to get rid of some of the evidence? Dreaming about it, thinking about it, trying to put the facts together, trying to put things together. And it looked like for the next 30 days is what they did. So there was a plan. Was Sarah Grace trying to protect someone? I did too, Jerry. I did too. Did Sarah Grace try to protect someone? Even her little sister, maybe in a weird sort of kind of way. Did she try to protect someone? Oops, sorry for that word. It's written on the card. Sorry, we're not going to say it. Here. They knew they ducked up. Duck up. So they know they messed up. Careful with what we put in the chat, please. Okay. Knowing they messed up, intuitive, trying to figure things out, trying to figure out what they could get away with, trying to figure out if there was anything they could get away with, taking advice from another person. I just heard that. So I believe two people involved and others knew, taking advice from someone else. They felt this was poetic justice. So something happened with the parents. And they thought they could, like everybody else, in my opinion, allegedly, supposedly. Honey, we can't say the real word Cheryl in the chat. So you have to kind of think a little creatively, like maybe put a particular letter in front of that word. So poetic justice. Thinking about this, doing research about this on platforms birds of the air, communication, thinking more about how to do it. So is someone else involved blaming Sarah and wanting to protect themselves? Wow, they've got those words. Hello. Destroyed, shattered, broken. Okay. Thinking that they got away with it. The truth is being hidden. So there could be someone else involved, arm's length. Definitely, I feel two people have done this. They've destroyed themselves, that's for sure. Shattered, broken. The Seven of Swords, communication, thoughts, thinking that they got away with it, and the truth is being hidden. Is the younger child safe? Is the sister safe? Does she know too much? She found the parent, can you imagine? 6 years old. Bless her. Is the sister safe? A lesson. That poor sweetheart. I swear, when I made these cards, I did not know Boozy Beauty. And to me, this looks exactly like her. And my dear Beauty, my dear BB, if you're in here watching, hello, my darlings, everyone coming in. This is a case that happened in February of this year. Envy. So there was something between the sisters. Sarah Grace is 17. This young sister is 6. Coming in quickly out of the blue. So this happened without a lot of forethought. Out of the blue. Maybe they talked about it before, perhaps jokingly, but they thought they could get away with it. Well, the question was about the sister. So it usually doesn't veer off and say, oh, okay, well, we're going to take just a minute. I've got a fight happening over here on the windowsill. Stop it right now, girls. Happening out of the blue. I'm not sure, Annie, if how much they've been. This is in Georgia, 007 Texas, my darling. They were half sisters. This was in Georgia, February of 2025. The little girl, the little sister, half sister, 6 years old, went in, found her parents unalived. This young lady here went on the platform, the Talkity Tick, and they she kept begging the true crime community to come and help her find out who unalived her parents. That's all I know. That's all I, this is the reason why I wanted to get into this today. Okay. So here's the thing. I don't really want to know a lot right now. So if y'all know the chat, please no spoiler alerts because I don't want to. Hi, the Goodmans, my darlings. How are you? Hello, Mrs. G. Hello. How are you, my love? Thank you for coming in. Bless you, my darling. Thank you. Thank you. I see you all the time. And Miss Attorney Melanie Little, and I appreciate you coming on over and saying hello. I see you all the time. You're so good there. Love it. Thank you so much. So back to this, my darlings. If you could do me a favor, not give too many spoiler alerts because I don't want to influence the cards or what I'm thinking about, because when I saw this on Miss Melanie's live today, we did not have a lot of the information that you talked about. This is just open as far as Miss Melanie is concerned. We're going to get into it more. We watched one of the, we watched one of the press conferences, I guess, and that was pretty much it. They said that they're leaving arrests open. But Miss Sarah up here, added on the board, Sarah Grace has been arrested. And if convicted, she's 17 years old. If convicted, she's looking at life in prison without the possibility of parole. And I'm going to tell you something right now about Georgia prisons. They are rough. So, back to this. There was a lesson asking about the younger sister. But envy, and I think the envy came from Miss Sarah Grace because she was having some problems with her mother and stepdad and wanted to go live with her father. And that was an impossibility only because there was a lot of there was a lot of home issues and drama and trauma. I can just say that there is a lot. So if you could do me a favor, please, right now while I'm reading, let's hold the spoiler alerts to a minimum until we get done here, because I want to ask these questions, and I have to read your chats, and I don't want to get that influence. So far, the cards are saying 2 people minimum thought they could get away with it. 1 is a female, 1 is a male. There were issues. Now we're going to get into the spiritual side of things right now. because this is where true crime legal and true crime paranormal meet in the middle, as far as I'm concerned. Was Sarah Grace and anyone close to her into anything like a Ouija board, perhaps other things that would be detrimental and not healthy? Was she involved with any type of that? This says in the home. So the police are getting help spiritually. I think they're going to have to pull out everything that they can on this, because this is muddy, to be kind. There's a lot of issues around the home, but a lot of open doors. So I'm asking about, when I'm asking, and help from the universe is for sure. So when I just heard a growl. So when I'm asking for, was there any spiritual issues, situations, circumstances, Ouija boards, anything like that? Because let's face it, my darlings, many cases, there are things like this and they don't know it and they don't bring it up. Does it affect people? Yes. Yes, it does. Unexpected. So here's the thing. I do not believe that this was premeditated, as in they planned this for a long time. I think they may have, based on what the cards are telling me, allegedly, supposedly. My opinion is they probably had a convo, let's say, a conversation of what if. But the one card that was the Temperance card, where I was shaking a little bit, I think there was some apprehension there when it came down, right down to it. The reality was sitting in. Is the truth still buried, or is it out in the open? Is the truth still buried, or is it out in the open? Well, there's the Lover's card. Also, the season of Gemini. And also, I want you to notice, just like this Temperance card, let's compare that. You see, there's a lot of commonality there. Two angels, twos, but the biggest thing about both cards are that the wings go off the frame of the card. The wings indicate that this is much bigger than what we can imagine at this point, that this is going to span out a little bit. Now, they keep saying that they have a lot of evidence against Miss Sarah. Whether they do or not, we don't know, but I do know a lot of times they will say things like that in order to help people feel that they need to confess to things. Sarah does have a public defender. Her mother's name is Kristen. Her stepfather's name is James. Kristen, do you have a message for us? For Sarah? Or is there something you want us to know? This is the second time this card has come up and you've seen me shuffle. There's some overlooked evidence. It's game over. Being blinded to the truth, still in disbelief, not understanding. And notice that the two swords here that protect the energy go off the frame of the card. The two swords, well, the sword suit is all about thoughts, communication, they're air signs. So the message from the mother is she was blind as to what was going on. Blind as to what was happening. Did not understand there was a problem. Did not think that it was going to go that far. The message to her daughter, Sarah, this is from Kristen, is she wished she could protect herself more. Is there a message from James to Sarah? Is there a message from James to Sarah? Okay, so let me repeat this last one. The message from Kristen, her mother. Kristen, her mother, is this. She overlooked things. She did not realize that it was game over. She didn't realize that this was hurtful to the heart. And with that particular case, if she would have realized this, she would have perhaps protected herself more. You see that white dot above the blindfold? That represents the opening of your third eye. Sometimes when that happens, we're no longer on this plane. So it's kind of that hindsight's 2020. So let's see now what James, the stepfather, has message for. Let's see what the stepfather, sorry for the distraction there. Let's see for James, what message do you have for her? Now that fell out right from the beginning. That was the first card that fell out of this deck. It's all about timing. Why is that it's so important? Okay. getting played, manipulation, lies, control. The Fool. Got played to be the fool. It's all about timing. It's a matter of time, is what he's saying. It's a matter of time. Getting played, manipulation, lies, control. Um, the fool, being the fool, trying to start over, being that phoenix that rises from the ashes. Things weren't as they seemed. Pardon me. Did someone else do this other than Sarah and this boyfriend? Was there someone else that stepped in? Was there someone else that did this? Was there someone else that ooh, ooh, I'm hearing big things in my ears. This is serious. Is this more serious than what we think? Let me get the cards together here. Is this more serious than what we think? I mean, obviously it's serious. Hello. There we go again. Don't want to hear it. Second time that card has come up. So was someone else, a third party, involved? There's more to look at. There's more to meet the eye. There's more than what they think. More discovery, more open doors. This is a fire element, this Two of Wands. So it's a lot of energy trying to come forward. This is interesting, my darlings. I want to point this out to you. You see, this wand here is actually anchored to the side of this, anchored to the side of the castle, meaning, and it's behind them. So they've got a little ways to go before they find something out. I've got another question. Spirits, guides, angels, did Kristen and James know who did this to them? Did they know who did this to them? It was definitely unexpected. Okay. Old news, outdated, discarded. So perhaps something that they knew before, something, there's more to this than meet the eye. Perhaps I'm getting that something happened in the past. Old news, old situation, something old happened, and they moved on, so to speak. Putting the past behind them, going from choppy waters into a much calmer sea, thinking that they were okay, thinking that things were calm, thinking that things were outdated. There's what hangs with me is this. It's my understanding that the stepdad had been involved with some nefarious groups. I'm going to say it that way. And with that being said, somebody just sent me another Venmo. Thank you so much, my darlings. Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. With that being said, it could have been somebody from his past. This card that says outdated, expired, perhaps moved on. Kristen and James, this is a tough question. Nefarious, right? This is a tough question. Because here's, my darlings, here's something. If you're unalived like this during this type of a situation and you're asleep, lots of energy, my darlings, lots. Anyway, and you're asleep, you don't know. It's not like you get to wake up and say, oh, and by the way, I'm a big person of saying prayers and asking for forgiveness before you go to sleep at night, because sometimes you don't know if you're just not going to wake up. So are both of you at peace? Are you at peace? Or do you think you may wait? Are you taking your energy with you? A burning desire? Oh, and Sam is walking through. Oh, no. Oh, hello, Sam. Hello. I don't remember sending an invitation. So burning desire, a fake apology. A fake apology. Oh. So was there a fake? Sometimes you just need Joe Mama. She's my girl. I'll tell you what, I've never had a cat so mommified. But we're kind of like that with each other. She's for many a long time was my emotional pardon me. Sorry. Emotional support kitty. Thinking that things were settled, wanting to be the head of the household, thinking that things, no, PD, no. Thinking that things would be Much better. Oh, brother. Thank you. Move on. This one right here gets to me more than anything. A fake apology. Gaslit. So somebody was gaslighting them? Look how mean girl she looks. She's given the eyeball to the other cats because it's like, okay, mommy's open season now, so we want to be there with her too. No. Sam is like the gatekeeper. She's like the gatekeeper with her mama. So there was a fake apology. James, is there something you want the world to know? And the rest are in watching TV. James, is there something you want the world to know? Thank you, Jerry. Thank you for putting that up there. In the eulogy, Sarah said she was sorry. And the investigators were there, said they heard it. Uh-oh. Somebody fell off the sill. Said that they heard it. Pardon me. And they didn't believe it. There can be many reasons, though. Okay, James, what do you want to tell the world? Travel. That cancer card, oh heck, what is it called? I'm losing my faculties here. Chariot. Caution. James's stepfather. Regret. Feeling bad, feeling guilt. So he wants to tell the world that he has regret, that he was that he was cautious, feeling very bad, feeling guilt, regret, not realizing what he had versus upset about what he didn't have. What do you wish, Kristen and James? Your energy, please. What do you wish for your daughter, Sarah? What do you have a message for your daughter, Sarah? A plan? Recording, expression revealing, announcement. So there could be a recording. There could be something going on. There could have been something that is very revealing about the plan. I'm not even going to mention that. Scorpio energy. Kristen, do you have a message for Sarah's bio father? So the universe knows the truth, and it was her bio dad that actually turned her into the authorities. Another crazy case is right. Anger management. Somebody's going to be coming into some money, an inheritance. Nothing has been said anything about that 007 Texas. Nothing shady about that. Those are the questions that I have based on the very little information. And actually, when I'm profiling, I prefer it that way because it influences the cards, it influences spirit, it influences a lot of things. And I would just prefer to have like organic information. See, what's really interesting to me is that on many of these cases that we have now, we are in this shadow period of a Mercury retrograde. Plus, we had a full moon that the in Capricorn, which the effect will be with us, especially come out hard in the first 72 hours, but be with us over a 2-week period until the new moon. So I expect a lot of information to be coming out. Pardon me, things that you just don't even think that will be coming out. And that includes, in this case, the Walsh case, Karen Reed's case. We'll probably see the motion that she filed for dismissal on Rule Number 9 on Monday. I think they're taking their good old time to scan that in. But there's a lot of things that we're going to be hearing. Be prepared next week. Next week, Wolfie, let me give you a date. A week from today is the 18th, when Mercury retrograde slows down. With slowing down right now, it does go in retrograde on the 18th and will remain there until the 11th of August. Then we go into a post shadow. see if I got any chats or anything that I need to read here. Okay. So here's what I think. We're gonna look into this case big time. Because quite frankly, we need another case. I'm ready for another case. Karen, I'm still catching up from being off so much and being in front of this computer so much during the Karen Reed case. And until this, because her now, all of these civil suits and everything, most likely not a lawyer, will go on until at least 2027, 20 through 26 through 27. I've heard of, be careful what we put in the chat, please. I did hear of the Colorado dentist. I have heard of that one. So I don't know how many we're going to be able to handle, because that's a lot. And that is a lot of energy keeping up with all these cases, because what I want to do is get into, because some trials are going to be coming up. And that's tough to keep up with all the trials, do what I'm doing, and living a life. So we're going to be doing Craig Casey, that happened on a waning moon. I don't think we'll ever know what happened with Craig Casey, but there's definitely some sus there. And I'm also going to tell you, I think there's a little bit of sus about John O'Keefe's former partner, who was said to unalive himself. I believe some tough things are going to be coming on. Patty, yes, we are, my darling. As soon if I can find out if that's going to be televised. California is kind of tough to get any type of documents at all. You almost have to know somebody there. And as soon as any of that starts coming out, I will definitely. We're going to definitely do this. The other one that I will be following is Attorney Tim Bradle's case from Andover, North Andover, Mass, where that young lady, police officer, was served a restraining order. And I don't know what happened, but a veteran police officer shot her in the chest. She's in the hospital right now. So that's going to be, that is going to be something. And with Attorney Tim Bradle, hello, we're going to be looking at that one. So the other thing is, the Betterow letters, the hints that are coming out from Attorney Mark Betterow. Hello. I saw a meme today, in all fairness, I wish I would have thought about it, that it showed Attorney Betterow dressed up as Paul Revere riding Brown Betty, who was, by the way, for those of you who don't know, the name of Paul Revere's horse is Brown Betty. And before he went on his famous ride, he went into the barn and he chose Brown Betty. And in the end, nobody really knows, because when he was, I believe, captured, they took his horse and that was it. Nobody knows what happened to Brown Betty. And believe me, keeping up a stride like she did, and welcome Paranormal Petey to the, oh, look at Sam. She's like, I'm not having this. I'm not having, look at her. Don't do it. Don't do it. No. So, anyway, that to me can't wait. I want to see, and Mark Betterow. Here's the thing I want you to know about Mark Betterow. He knows his place He knows what he's supposed to be doing. And I'm also going to tell you, he knows that all of this tomfoolery with this dude is intertwined with the Karen Reed case. But he and attorney Tim Bradle have a big handle on the corruption in that county. There's going to be something. And the fact, I cannot wait, right, Captain? I'm waiting for the next Betterow letter. And how? I call him the father of footnotes because his footnotes are fire. Hello. I wish I could get him on my channel, but I'm going to tell you, as we all know, I'm not everybody's cup of tea. And you know what? That's cool. That's cool. He probably wouldn't even know how to react to me. But it's okay. We can watch him other places and wish him well, and we'll do what we're doing over here, and we'll give everybody a supporting role, a foundation. So there you are. And I'll tell you what, that attorney Mark Betterow is a mighty mouse. You know, remember the old song? Remember that? Here he comes to save the day. Remember that one? Like a bolt from the blue, he is wise and true, fighting evil, fighting crime, and always there in the nick of time. So here he comes to save the day, proof that crime will never pay. So let the trumpet players play, do-do-do-do. 'Cause Mark Betterow is here to stay. There we go. I made that up. That was on the fly. Cheers. But he is. And there is one thing. Oh, careful. Pink Nose Petey is right here. Making his way through. They all know. Mighty, do you remember Hercules? Stronger than any mountain, Hercules. Remember that one? Oh my gosh. I used to watch Hercules before I went to church on Sunday mornings. With the strength of 10 ordinary men, Hercules. At the mighty Hercules. Remember? Oh my gosh. I remember that. I love it. Underdog. That's right. I love all the... Does anybody here remember Astro Boy? Astro Boy. Remember all that? Oh my goodness. Those were times. Listen, give me some retro candy and I'll sit here. I'm going to confess right now, my favorite cartoon. Favorite. I still watch this because it's on Tubi. Are you ready? My favorite cartoon. Johnny Quest. And I'll tell you who my favorite character was. Not Johnny Quest. Ray Spannon. Hello. Not Haji. Not Haji. Remember that? Ray Spannon. Hello. Johnny Quest. Yes, chef. Hello. You can have whoever you want. Ray Spannon. There you go. All we got on Sunday morning was kids' Bible story shows. Well, remember Davy and Goliath? Do you remember that? I love David and Goliath. Remember how cute that was? Those little puppet shows. Then the other one was Maria, Aqua Maria. Remember that? Oh gosh, that little puppet thing? Gumby and Pokey. That's right. And then there was the one that was Stay Tuned for Adventure. And it was another one of these puppety things. So there we are, my darlings. I saw that, Anne. I saw that in Suffolk County. I'll tell you what, I loved Gumby and Pokey too. My sister and I, we always got the Gumby and Pokey. And I got Gumby. I wanted Pokey. That's just the way it is. Davy and Goliath, yes, yes. And here I have Scooby and Shaggy, as you know. Bandit, the best dog ever. Thank you so much, Jack. You know it. Bandit is. Absolutely. Herman, He-Man. Remember that? My son would watch that. He-Man. I loved it. Gregory Applegate, you are the one. Zelda, love those lips. Call me Race Bannon. Okay, Race. Okay, you got it, Race. Now, all we have to do is just record the intro. I can't put it on here. I'll get copyright strike, but I would play that. Da, 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 da. There you go. I love it. Now I'm embarrassed. Am I turning red? You guys will probably never see it. So there we go. Remember Rocky and Bullwinkle? Nothing up my sleeve. Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I was trying to think if there was another one, but it was always Mickey Mouse. And Scooby Dooby Doo. I'm going to tell you something. There you go. And the banana splits. That's right. And do you remember HR Puffin Stuff? Remember? Oh my gosh. Some of these I'm embarrassed to even say that I liked because you look at them and they're just so like Isla Shawls. Remember? I like the old Popeyes where they were old and Popeye would walk and he would walk like this and kind of bounce. And Olive Oil would talk like this, Popeye. And she was just so like this. She would, right, Sammy? She would do the Popeye. It just cracked me up. HR, the Jetsons. Yes, for sure, the Jetsons. But there is the one, oh gosh, Rainbow Bright, strawberry, what was that? Strawberry shortcake, was it? My daughter liked that. Flintstones. Where I came from in Ohio, some of you may know this. I wish I could play these. I found some reruns on YouTube. I wish I could play these for you. Our weatherman in Cleveland, Ohio, whose name was Dick Goddard, fantastic fellow. And there were some other players. There used to be Big Chuck and Little John, but I forget who Big Chuck, who was that before Little John? Anyway, they would show at 11 o'clock at night, and then it would be Ghoulardi. After the news, these guys would come on, and and Halloween was perfect on Friday night, and these guys would come on, and they would play these B-movie horror flicks, like Hammer Films and all these other things. In between, they would do these skits. And I'll tell you, it was the best thing ever. We planned all of our slumber parties around Big Chuck. And Houlihan was his first name. Houlihan then went to Florida to be a weatherman. But then the other weatherman, who was Dick Goddard, would sometimes come in there and they would do these skits and they would do, oh my goodness, it was something. Yeah. Little Misfit. Oh, yes. Captain Kangaroo, Mr. Green. Mr. Green. Wait, what is that? What was that song? Mr. Jingling, how you dingling, keeper of the keys. On the 7th floor. What was it? I can't remember. I don't know. It was something. Cleveland, Ohio. I loved reading Rainbow. I want you to think about that puppet. What is that? Maria, Aqua Maria. Oh, shoot. I wish I could play it for you. You guys would remember it. You said Ohio, yes, and makes me think of WKRP in Cincinnati, which makes me think of flying turkeys, right? I am from Ohio, just above Columbus, and I wouldn't trade it for a world. It was a wonderful place. Grew up on a farm. It was a wonderful place to be, and that time era was fantastic. And do I miss it? Yeah, but life goes on, right? I love it. Remember all the turkeys? There was another one that I wanted to share with you. And then remember all the shows like The Jeffersons. Remember that? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Look at this. Miss Jules from Florida, bless you for your generosity, gifted 10 Lady Zelda membership. Blessings to each and every one of you who are now Greg says Ben Bolin and I watched. If you know, you know. Thank you for your generosity, my darling. 10 gifted memberships. And thank you and welcome to all of those who are now members. And I'm just going to say this. I'm going to start doing some little membery things on this channel with the paranormal because I have seen 2 orbs already over here that Bilbo was looking at. And the sun has gone down now. And I have some people over here on the sill. Yes, I say people. Because I pay them rent, and one is sleeping on top of my printer, 2 are sleeping on the windowsill, and it's just a beautiful Friday night. And there we go. I spent a month in Streetsboro, Ohio, one weekend. Oh, did you like it? I got to tell you what I did. One of the people that I know really, really well, she is from Ohio. And you know, Ohio are Buckeyes, right? So I'm texting her. You know, she's like, how is my favorite psychic? Well, I'm texting her what I thought was going to be, how is my favorite Buckeye? And I didn't check. And then she writes back and says, oh my gosh, you're so funny, but what does that mean? Well, instead of writing Buckeye, my autocorrect wrote bucket. So I wrote to her, how is my favorite bucket? So now that's the joke. She calls herself Madam Bucket or Lady Bucket. You know, you have to take things in stride. You have to just take things in stride. That's it. That's the way it is. But I'm going to tell you something. The shows, I have had a Buckeye. The shows that we used to watch, and I got to tell you that my dad was just like Archie Bunker. And so anyway, but some of these shows we could sing along to. Do you remember singing along to the Beverly Hillbillies? Oh, the first thing you know, old Jed's a millionaire. He said, hey, Sam, let's move away from here. He said, California is the place you ought to be. So they loaded up the truck and moved to Beverly Hills, that is. Swimming pools, movie stars. There you are, my darlings. Remember all those? And then, do you remember Alice? I used to be sad. I used to be, what was it? Funniest thing, the saddest part is I never knew why. Kicking myself for nothing was my favorite sport. You gotta get up and out. I forget the words. Connie, 'cause life's too short. There's a new girl in town, and I'm feeling good. Remember that one? Oh, that one. Oh, uh-oh. Look here. Uh-oh. We're in troubles. That's Shaggy Noodle walking through, and Sam. There we are. Get going, Noodle Boy, before you get us all in trouble. There's your Shaggy. Mel Steiner, that's right. And then, what is this? Oh, well, we're moving on up to the east side. I'm going to turn this phone off. I can hear myself. To a deluxe apartment in the sky. I'm moving on up. To the east side. We finally got a piece of the pie. Here we go. Fish don't fry in the kitchen. Beans don't burn in the grill. I took a whole lot of trying just to get up that hill. And now you're up in the big leagues, putting my whatever. Whatever. As long as we live, it's you and me, baby, and there ain't nothing wrong with that. Oh, well, we're moving on up. Oh, yeah. Those were good times and good days. Telling you. Green Acres is the place to be. Farm living is the life for me. Land spreading out so far and wide. Keep Manhattan, 'cause just give me that countryside. New York is where I'd rather stay. I got allergic smelling hay. I just adore the penthouse view. Darling, I love you, but give me Park Avenue. Remember that? I love it. And Petticoat Junction, right? It was Ava Gabor. That's right. It was Ava Gabor. I thought she was gorgeous. You know, the Gabor sisters were kind of like the Kardashian. Nobody really knew what they were famous for, but they were just famous. I still watch all those. Andy Griffith. I'm going to tell you, though, if I see another Andy Griffith show, I don't know. I'm about Andy Griffith out. I really am. I like the Mary Tyler show. And remember that girl? I just thought Marlo Thomas was the prettiest thing that ever went. And then it was Heart to Heart. I wanted to be Stephanie Powers so bad that I saved up enough money and bought myself a yellow convertible Mercedes with tan interior and drove around. And I had my hair cut like her. Hello. That was something else. And then Moonlighting was another one. Moonlighting, hello. Stephanie Powers was gorgeous. She still is. Have you seen her? She's still alive, isn't she? You know, I got to tell you this. You know why we do this, don't we? I'm going to tell you why I do this. Because this energy is so heavy. Look what we have represented on the board. Oh, hardly anyone. This board is going to really start filling up as we go forward. And some of these cases are just so hurtful and hard and upsetting that I really I want all of you to leave this chat when we do with a very good mindset for Friday night. So you can order a pizza, so you can watch the Dukes of Hazzard and Starsky and Hutch, and we can reminisce. We can go down memory lane. We can sing songs. I'll tell you. You want to hear another song that I'm? Remember, I sang the song from the Carpenters yesterday. Remember? Here's another song that has been in my head. Okay. Here's another. Is there a retro channel? No, but I'll tell you what. I'm thinking I need some retro candy. You know, the little dots that were on the pieces of long paper, and you peeled them off to eat them, and you never got a piece without a piece of paper, and you just didn't care. You ate the paper anyway. Okay, so here's this song. You all tell me where this is from and who sang this. Who sang this? You know what? We should have that some night. We should have that some night. There's a lot of retro. I like all the 40s. I listen to the 40s. Green Southern Girl, Lady Zelda, I can get anything you want. We have a retro. Oh, I love it. I love it. The Love Boat. Dark Shadows. I still watch I was watching Dark Shadows the other evening during a storm. It is on Tubi from season 1 all the way to 26. And somebody said to me the other day, "Oh, I didn't want to watch it while it was black and white. I didn't start it until it was color." No. What kind of blasphemy is that? You have to start from day 1, where Victoria Winters gets off the train in Collinsport and goes into the diner, and she meets all the Collins, and she meets Maggie. You got to start from the beginning. If you don't, hello. I would love to have the house. All right. I would long ago. I love that one. I sang that one yesterday. Here's the song that's been going through my mind since last night. Are you ready? I'm going to push this back because, hello, things may get a little loud. I loved Lost in Space. Billy Mooney, hello. Okay, here we go. Bill, I love you so, I always will. Remember that song? I look at you and see the passion. Something. I can't even remember the words. When am I ever gonna hear those wedding bells? I forget the words. Oh my gosh. Mind bell. When you were let me get the words. Hello, instead of singing here. I don't know the words. I know the song. I don't know the words. When it comes on the but I loved Wedding Bell Blues. Here we go. Ready? Bill, I love you so, I always will. I look at you and see the passion eyes of May. Oh, but am I ever gonna see my wedding day? Look at her. She's singing back up for me. I was on your side, Bill, when you were losing. I'd never scheme or lie, Bill. There's been no fooling, but kisses and love won't carry me till you marry me, Bill. I love you so, I always will. And in your voice I hear the choir of carousels. Oh, but am I ever gonna hear those wedding bells? I haven't lied one day, Bill. Oh, wait a minute. Wrong. Back up. I was the one who came running when you were lonely. I haven't lied one day, not loving you only. But kisses and love won't carry me till you marry me, Bill. I love you so, I always will. And though devotion rules my heart, I take no vows. Oh, okay, that's enough of that. I can't even see the words. The lyrics are like this. But there's another one that Marilyn does that I just love. And that is, I love that song. Marilyn, I love her. There's another one that she does, and it is, let me think of the name. Mama's got range. Love it. There you go, Soul Souffle. I do have range, my darlings. I blame that song for putting me in the mindset. I ended up marrying and marrying and marrying. Last night, I didn't get to sleep at all. No, no. Remember that song? The sleeping pill I took was just a waste of time. I heard your number ringing. Oh, wait. I goofed that up, right? Sing, Zelda. I got on my mind, and last night I didn't get to sleep at all. I know it's not my fault. I did my best. God knows this heart of mine could use a rest. I love that song. I love it. I love it. Hey, did you happen to see the most beautiful girl in the world? And if you did, was she crying, crying? I love that. Oh my gosh, brings back so much memories. I love it. I love it. Oh, let me see, my darlings. Let me take a look at your chat. Charlie Rich is your cousin? Oh, nice. Okay, now we're back to business. Nate wants to know more to the Monroe story also. If it happened with Free Karen Reed crowd, we would know more. Last Kiss remake Pearl Jam is hard hitting one for me. Yeah. He is Zelda. I believe you. I have the hat he wore on the album. Do you know that I sang with Grandpa Jones? Remember Grandpa Jones from Hee Haw? When I was 17. And I was in a theater when I sang with him. And we sang Rocky Top. He played. And he handed me his banjo and he said, "Here, you played." And I picked it up and broke a string on his banjo. And he was so mad. I'm like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that. Didn't mean to do that, Grandpa." I loved Hee Haw. When the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars, then peace will guide the planet. Quit licking me, sis. Oh, my heck. Okay. Last night, yes, last night I didn't get to sleep at all. Um, you didn't break that string. That string was weak. I don't know. He was mad. He rushed off stage. He told his manager something. So I just stood there and sang whatever I wanted. I didn't have any accompaniment, so it was just a cappella. It was me and whatever. Didn't ask me back. That's okay. I wasn't really into that. So thanks, Grandpa. Okay, my darlings. We've been on here now for a minute. So I'm just going to say how much I love each and every one of you. I want to thank you for being here with me, seeing me through this whole entire time. We're going to learn more about Miss Sarah Grace. We're sending her some good energy no matter what. We're sending, I think we're going to hear some more about Miss Sandra coming out. Jen McCabe, we're going to be seeing some things coming out for. There was a knock. Did anybody hear the knock? Oh, it's going to be one of those nights. Gonna be one of those nights. Now we're coming back, my darling, tomorrow night. I have another little presentation for you. You're gonna like it. You're not gonna want to miss it. It has everything to do with the New Madrid fault line. If you want to know what's going on, you have to come back tomorrow night, 7 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. That is New York, America time for all of those who are coming in. It did sound like Poe, didn't it? It did sound like Poe, but I have to keep Poe away from her because she's already put him in the hospital because she goes psycho on him. She does not like Poe. And Poe is just a little statue. Look what I have here. I got to show you guys this. You guys are gonna love this. This was an impromptu tonight. I text Mrs. Marie and I said, hey, I'm kind of sort of thinking that I need to go live. There, look at that. Do you not just love this? And this blinks, and it's because of my green screen in the back. It looks funky. But I just think this is the biggest hoot. The fortune teller is in. Wait till you see this other one that I have. Hello, give me gadgets, and I'm happy. Go gadget, right? Check this one out. Oh, you guys are going to love this one. I'm making a mess on my desk. If you guys saw me, it is definitely a retrograde because things are a mess. Check this guy out. Look at his eyeballs. Potions. Looks like he already drank one. Is that not a hoot? I told my son got this for me and I said, look, I think I dated him once. Is that not hilarious? I just think these are hilarious. These are, my darlings, little bookends. They're bookends. Look at this. And they're just like cheapy stuff. But I am just totally obsessed with these. I keep them here, and every now and then I have to laugh. And my darlings, did you put your rice jars out last night? If you missed last night, you can still put them out tonight because we have the effects of the full moon in Capricorn. And the full moon in Capricorn means it is time to build. Sorry, my green screen is kind of like messed up. There we are. Staying away from mushrooms, my darling Jules says. And by the way, I think I have announced this, but the folks from CAB will not be joining us next Thursday because they have Turtle Boy as their guest, and it's the only day that he could have come on to their show. We're still going to go live Thursday. In fact, what we're going to do, we're going to bump it back and do the Thursday at 2:30 in the afternoon like we usually do. And then for anyone who wants to see the cab show, you're more than welcome to. And then again next Saturday night. It is Mercury retrograde next Friday. 1 week. 1 week. It's okay. We've been through it before. We've lived through them. We've lived through them. I'm so sorry. It's this person. I'm allergic to them. My darling Chris, beautiful lady. Yes. Let me get rid of this banner. Yes. The answer is yes. This is why you're kind of feeling like you're walking around with a lampshade on your head. Yeah. Yeah. So there you go. So, yes. But it's okay, because I'm going to tell you something about Mercury retrogrades. For those of you who manifest, I'm always looking for the positive. For those of you who manifest, Mercury retrograde is a very good time to do that. And it is because Mercury, who is the planet of communication, slows down in orbit, and it makes us slow down too. And that's why it affects our tech. That's why you see me doing all these intros and stuff and muted mics. Hello, Mercury. I will emerge someday. This is what I look like when I emerge from Mercury retrograde. I'm going to show you right here. Actual photo of me coming out of Mercury retrograde. And I don't even smoke, but sometimes I feel like it. I'll tell you what, I came out of the Karen Reed trial feeling like that. So there you are, my darlings. So right now, I don't even go on Facebook or the Book of Faces, sorry. I don't go on those anything. I just don't do that, because this social media stuff, people get on there and they just want to run. They literally just want to run with the negativity and tearing people. 5 years ago, I was hearing about, oh my gosh, and don't put it in the chat, but what was happening 5 years ago. Oh my gosh. Make sure that you save, make sure that you do everything that you're supposed to do. Stock up. The grid is going down. I'm here waiting. And that anybody who wrote that stuff, I went on a mission and I got blocked like a crazy woman. But I went on a mission and said, how dare you people put this seed of fear into others? If it happens, we'll get through it. Period. Stop putting fear into other people. Crazy. I mean, listen, I am the girl. Oh, bless you, sister. I am the girl. She's probably allergic to me. I am the girl who sat in front of my computer in my big, beautiful home in Sevierville, Tennessee, in the year 2000, watching New Year's Eve when the clock hit midnight, thinking, oh, we've been the Y2K. We've been told things are going to start unlocking. And I'm sitting there thinking, oh, do I, and back then you don't even think about, should I back up my computer? Because we didn't even think about backing up our computers. And the only thing that I had on my computer, you know what I did on my computer? I would go on my computer and download gaming walkthroughs like Resident Evil zombie games for my son so I could print them out. And I would go to Staples and buy those big, thick reams of printing paper and extra. And I got to the point where I had an inkjet so I could refill the ink instead of buying these cartridges like a crazy woman. And I would, that's what I used my computer for. Now, I was in the mortgage business at that time. I had a lot of property there in Gatlinburg. I did some other things. And I was on a psychic line and I had my psychic business. I was like, hello and all. And you know what? It has been how many years? Y2K was 25 years ago. We're still here. So anytime anybody says, and you see these, it's called click. When you want to watch it, click, click. There's a reason it's called clickbait. I try not to do that with my thumbnails, but sometimes I just can't help it. Right? So there you go. So we have to do what we have to do. But there's no reason to fear. And my presentation tomorrow night it might be a little unsettling to think about, but I don't see that happening. So I want you to just know we've got a lot to cover. We got a lot of cases. And we have a lot of paranormal to talk about because listen, I know you guys like the paranormal stories, and I've got some paranormal stories that will knock your little socks off. And we're going to be in a great place so I can start telling some stories. And maybe I'll just do that tomorrow night. So if you want to come here, because there's some true paranormal crime stories that I can tell you. Woofy is what I've got to say. Some things that it just makes you think, are people capable of, sorry, I keep hearing this. I know what it is. But I just keep thinking, are those energies able to come back and give us hints of a crime? My answer is yes. So don't forget to wear your socks tomorrow so I can knock them off with all my storytelling, because that's just the way it is. And for those of you who sent Venmos tonight, much appreciated. Much appreciated. Because, this is an investment here. And I appreciate it because lights, camera, action, all, and lipstick, Dairy Queen, bless you, Dairy Queen, all that. So thank you for understanding that. Thank you. And I want to thank my beautiful mod of Jerry was here tonight. Thank you. Mrs. Marie was here tonight. Thank you to her. Thank you to each and every one of you. Thanks to True Oracle for being here. Wouldn't know what to do without you. Because I'm still on the psychic line there at trueoracle.com. Many of you have called, gotten readings. Some of you have gotten video readings. That's a lot of fun. Katsuntight, Mushikatsu. I have not done my greeting to family. Oh. Wie geht's du? Was ist los? Ich bin ein Akkompagnata. Mein Name ist Lady Zelda von Gortlitz. Schreib mir mal. Ich liebe dich. Love you. All right, so let me see. Anything else here we need to address before we get on the next flight out? Oh, well, I don't know her. I don't know. I don't think she is that person. So that's not even a problem. That's not even a problem. I already got my question for the next members only, Zelda. Yes. And the members only for True Oracle is not this Sunday, but it will be on the 20th of this month, rounding out the month with the members only live, and we will be asking questions. Everything will be fantabulous. Let me see. Zenjen, hello, my darling. I can see Zelda with a little scarf on her head and a crystal ball using that accent. I'm telling you, darling. I certainly can. Do you want to know the accent? This is what I'll do for you. Ready? You come in here. I had one happen. One of these days, I'll tell you about all my card reading experiences. But I went into a place. Here we go. Here we go. Zelda's got a story. Hello. Listen, my darling, this lipstick, look at this. This lipstick ain't going anywhere. Wait, I have a white tissue here. Let me show this. Look. Men in a 50-mile radius are not safe. Erase. No. But isn't that funny? Okay, so here we go, my darlings. Yeah, I don't know how this became so, but it is on there. When I take my makeup off tonight, it's going to be like, hello, I will be waking up with this tomorrow morning, I'm sure. So, story time with Zelda. So I'm in Daytona Beach. This was my gypsy days. This isn't lip stain. It is like I don't know what it is. I don't like the stains because they're too drying, but this isn't. So anyway, I go into Daytona Beach because I got on that thing in the 1980s where I would just go on the circus or circuit. I went around to all of these places in Florida to all kinds of different psychic fairs, psychic shows. That's when they were having them. I was working for Psychic Friends Network. So they had one of those places at Daytona Beach where, it's all glass front and the big neon lines that say psychic, palm reader, madame, something or other. I walk in. There's nobody there. Eerie. The place looks like it's all pink with white columns and very ornate looking and marbly looking and all these things. So I walk in. And all of a sudden I'm like, hello, hello. And finally this woman comes out from behind somewhere. And she has the turban. She looks the part. She has the turban. She looks the part. Someone's walking through. It is Scooby-Doo. Goodbye. And she says, "Can I help you?" And I said, "Yes, I'd like to have a card reading." And I've been to Casadega twice, my darlings. I'll tell you a story about that. So I said, "I'd like to have a reading." And she looked at me and she goes, "Give me your hand." So I put out my hand. It was my left hand. She says, "No, give me your power hand." Oh, we're going to do that. So I give her my right hand. So she looks at my hand and she does this to my hand. She goes, "I can't read for you." I said, "You can't read for me? Why?" She said, "I can't read for you. You got energy around you." I said, "Oh, really?" And I'm thinking, oh, here we go. Really? And what kind of energy is it, pray tell, that I have around me? She says, "You've got bad energy around you." Here we go. "You've got bad energy around you." For $200. And this was back in the early 80s. Now, $200 meant something. $200 was serious then. Now it's like, hello. You go through a drive-through and you get a couple meals and it's $200. She says, $200. I pray that away for you, then I read for you. I said, "Oh, wow, your prayer works that quickly, huh?" "Yes, it does. I have connections. I can do this. I can do this for you quickly. And for $300, I will guarantee that it does not come back." I'm like, "Oh, that's a bargain." You listen, you don't know me. I'm a petty little snarky little fart, right? So I'm like, "Really? $300? You not only pray this away, but you guarantee it doesn't come back?" "Yes." And I'm thinking, and I said, "Well, what else is on the menu?" Sorry. Madame Blavatsky. That's right. I have that Madame Blavatsky accent. Who said this? "Equal parts, my darling, you've got it." From the Theosophical Society, Madame Blavatsky. So I said, "Really, what else is on the menu?" And she looked at me and she's like, "Oh, wow, we've got a sucker, right? Let's reel this one in." She says, "Oh, I tell you what, for $400." No, her accent was real. Mine is fake, obviously. Hello. "For $400, I will not only pray this bad energy you have around you. No, no. I will pray it away. It will not come back. And you will meet the man of your dreams." I said, "Really?" I said, "What else can you do?" She says, "For $500, I pray away this bad energy. It won't come back. You meet the man of your dreams, and you will be a rich woman. You will be rich." I said, "I'm already rich." She says, "Well, you will be richer. You will bring this man, you will walk out of here and you will meet this man today." I'm like, "Really? And if I don't meet this man today?" "Oh, you will. I guarantee it. You will." I said, "I'll tell you what. I want you, before I pay you 500 smackaroonies," I said, "I want you to pull 2 tarot cards for me. And then I will pay you the $500. She said, "That's all I need to do is I pull 2 tarot cards for you?" I said, "Yes, that's right. 2 tarot cards." So she pulls out I don't even remember what they are. And she says, "Oh, it's that, oh." She probably didn't even have a tarot deck until the day before I came in. She says, "Oh, this is exactly what I'm talking about. You've got this bad energy. You've got all this stuff around. Now you'd pay me $500. I said, "No, I'm not going to do that." She said, "Why are you not going to? You told me. You are fraud." I said, "Really? Who's talking fraud here, madame? Because the meanings that you told me for those tarot cards are not real. Those are made up meanings that you use for your suckers that you have come in here." Bless you, sister. And she said, You are a fraud. You are a fraud. I called cops. I said, yeah, call them. And I will tell them how you tried to give me the shakedown. I tried to give you nothing. You get out of my establishment. You get out of here. I am just done. You get out. You get out. I'm like, gladly. She follows me in this huff. Dun, 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 dun. And I'm just strolling through and taking my time because I knew I got to her. And the moment that I opened that door, she grabbed the inside because it was just like a storefront. So it was a glass door that had the metal frame and then the metal bar in between. She grabs that metal bar, about knocks me down. She came up to about my waist, right? About knocks me down and pulls that door shut, takes a key out of her pocket and locks it. I looked at her and I said, oh, well, good luck to you. And she says, you will be cursed. You are cursed from the last day that you, I mean, she was going on, curse, curse, curse. And I said, well, all I got to tell you is, darling, you didn't get $500 out of me. Who really is cursed? Oh my gosh. She threw a fit. This little guy, another one that came up to about my waist, comes running to the front and he's giving me, doing this, blah, 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 talking in some type of language. I'm like, you got to flipping well be kidding me. So and that's why you have to be careful, because believe me, my darlings, that version is still around today. That version you see on the Book of Faces, and that is why I'm not on the Book of Faces, because those people come in and steal my people. They steal my content and they steal all that stuff. And then they start DMing or contacting people. And I had one lady that I had talked to a couple of times who wrote me on my page and made a big deal and said, I paid you $750. I said, you did? Yes. I paid you $750. And I never got my reading. And I'm angry. So you're a fake. And she was going on and on and on. And I said, really? I want you to scroll up to the top and look at what I put up there. And says, a real psychic will never DM you because we don't have to. I will never reach out to you. And I said, I have all that disclosure on my Book of Faces. You know what she did? She went to support on the Book of Faces and turned me in and said that I was the one who stole her account, that she was the real psychic Zelda Kelly, and they banned me. Now I'm going to tell you what. Mark Zuckerberg knew I was lit when that happened. Because I'm going to tell you what. He probably felt that energy coming through my phone when I went on this little campaign of all over the place calling this out, and they restored my account. And I don't put any of my content. I've got hundreds of videos, shorts on the Book of Faces. And I can't download them on my computer. You can only do it on your phone. And it is a mess. So I'm just leaving it. I cut off all my groups. I had two pages, all that. Crazy, right? They catfished with my ID, the whore, and they would just misspell my name. And I'm going to tell you the funny thing, because all of these IP addresses were over in South Africa. No shade to all my people from Africa, because I love you, but that is a hub for this kind of thing. And oh my gosh, that was Shaggy Noodle. Oh my gosh, my darlings. This was you talk about an episode with the Karen Reed case. This was an episode. I finally got it taken care of, finally got it back. And they send me things all the time. Oh, please come back, please. You can be a creator. You can make more money. You can do. I'm not touching your trash. I'm not touching it. This platform here, and there are still some type of problems because, you can't help it, is about the safest. It's the safest for me because I'm not aggressive like that. And same on the TikTok. They steal it, but I'll tell you what they do. I hate them too. And I don't like to use the word hate, but they will misspell my name. And if you don't look closely, because what they would do is say, instead of saying psychic Zelda Kelly, they would put physic. Now, for those of you who don't know what a physic is, it's an old-fashioned name for a laxative. So they were saying that they were physic Zelda Kelly, and I would just howl because I would write to them and say, well, you did this, so I guess your readings are full of the brown stuff. So anyway, yes, that's why people like me have really had a bad rap in the past and even now because, and listen, I see the stuff coming on Twitter. I see it from some big creators and they point it right to me. And you know what? I don't care because I also am protected by the Constitution of the United States. And I can say and do what I want to do. Except I'm going to also tell you this. There was a president, oh my gosh, Patty, you're so funny. There was a president, forget what his name is, I'll tell you all about it. But there was a psychic that told the president that after he was inaugurated, he was going to be gone. And because of that, it caused such a big stir because he did pass away when she said he was going to, because she would read for his wife. And she told his wife that he was going to pass away. And he did. And that psychic happened to be sitting with a journalist. And when it came over the radio that he had passed away, the journalist just kind of looked at her and went, oh. And because of that, wait, let me tell you what one it is. Physic. That's right. I'll tell you which one it is. I could probably play this for you. Now I'm going to be singing, Bill, I love you so, I always will, all night. Thank you, Zelda. Here we are. I wonder if it would be okay if I played this. Well, we'll see, won't we? We will definitely see. I'm going to play it from my phone into your camera. I'm going to watch for any notifications, though. Uh-oh. So you all don't see it, but here we go. Because now...
1923 at around 7 p.m.
Okay, hold on.
57-year-old Warren G. Harding,
President
of the United States, died of a heart attack at a San Francisco hotel. Claire Harding, President.
Okay, get ready. I'm going to show it in the count in this. Here we go.
In 1920, during a session,
Today.
Marcia Champney not only predicted that the Ohio senator would win the presidency, but also die a sudden, violent, or peculiar death before the end of his presidential term. The prediction of Warren G. Harding came true, and he won the presidency of the United States. But nearly 3,000 miles away, and less than 30 minutes after President Harding died, Madam Champney told a journalist after looking at the clock and Harding's astrological chart, "The president is dead." This was a very chilling prediction at the time by a psychic who charged $5 per session. Because of this, during the Coolidge administration, fortune-telling for profit was so high that proposed legislation was introduced to Congress to criminalize it. Imagine if that would have happened. In 1920, during a session with Florence Harding, wife of Warren G. Harding.
Warren G. Harding. It was a psychic that said that he was going to pass away. The big thing that came out of that is that President Garfield went to Congress and said, these people are getting $5 for a reading. Now, $5 back then in 1930 something was a lot of money. It was like maybe $20 or something. And they tried to outlaw it. Our own Congress back then in 1930s tried to outlaw card reading and many of that sort of thing, and psychics and everything else, because she predicted that Warren G. Harding would pass away. And boy, that's a scary thing. Because, it's all fun and games until a psychic comes in and starts predicting and the truth starts coming down, and then it's like, oh, wait a minute. So that's what happened. That was pretty interesting. That was an interesting case, and there has been psychics like that over the years. I'm going to tell you why. There's a lot of reference in the Bible to a lot of this, but they don't translate it correctly, as in the Bible, it talks about witchcraft. It talks about many other things, but the weird thing that it does is it says some of the things that are talked about are considered in the Greek called the pharmacia. What is the pharmacia? Well, those people who give rugs, those rugs, RUGS, to other people. But the other thing is, God is a jealous God. And sometimes people depend on psychics more than they pray and depend on Father. And that's where it comes into play. But anything that anyone who is sorry about that. Okay, so anyone that is correct and right. I mean, my grandfather was a Methodist minister in Ohio. He died the year I was born. But we always went to church. I'm a Christian. You kind of know the line where you want to draw. There's some that are not so ethical out there. And sometimes I feel like I approach the line with some of these things like the EVPs and all this other. But the one thing that we are not supposed to be doing is necromancy. That's what we're not supposed to be doing. And that is asking for a soul to return, calling back the dead. That's a scary thing that can happen, because kings in the Bible, royalty all over the world, presidents, everything, have always consulted soothsayers, fortune tellers. Think about Caesar on the Ides of March. It was his, and by the way, I was born on the Ides of March. It was his soothsayer that told him, do not go. Do not go to the meeting. Do not go. Do not go. He started having dreams about it. The morning of, his wife said, please don't go. Please don't go. And the soothsayer is the one who said, beware of the Ides of March. And of course, we know the rest of the story. Caesar went and his cabinet ganged up on him and unalived him. There we are. So it's one thing to be an advisor, you know. Nancy Reagan, definitely. They're both Reagans. I mean, you're clear back to Lincoln, clear back to President Pierce, clear back to many Adams, a lot of these people beforehand. So Madame Blavatsky, the Theosophical Society, has a lot to do, but there was also Mademoiselle Lenormand, who was an advisor to Napoleon. And that advisor to Napoleon was very interesting. She advised him and said, look, if you don't do what you're supposed to be doing, you're not only going to lose the War of 1812, you're going to be losing, you're going to be exiled. And he was mad at her and wanted to imprison her because she told him something that she didn't want to hear. And there were she was in jail. So there were a lot of that sort of thing. Thank God I can say right now that it's not illegal. Some states it still is. In some states you have to be really licensed. There's craziness. So there we go. There we go. Melissa, thank you so much, you darling. Thank you. Thank you. I was a little worried that the red lipstick would be too much, but I got the red glasses and I wanted to wear the red glasses and they are scratched a little bit on the side. Maybe I can wear them tomorrow night. Obviously, this red lipstick is going to be hanging around for a while, so whatever works for that, but I kind of like this style too. So there we are. So anyway, my darlings, it's been a good night, and I've had you all here, and we've had some, we have steady people, and for Friday night, there you go. I just appreciate you so much. It was impromptu, the way it is. But thank you. We've got other cases we're going to be looking into again, and we'll go from there. So, my darlings, please do me a favor. Before you leave, if you haven't already, like and subscribe. I have more for you that I'm going to tell you tomorrow night. I think I'm just going to tell stories tomorrow night so we can just kind of, come down off of this heavy subjects, because that's like, whoa, okay? And once again, I want to put this up here. I want to thank you. Let me get this Venmo out of here. I want to thank you, each and every one. And if you feel you are challenged in any way, or you need to make that phone call on behalf of you or anyone else, do not hesitate. They are available 24/7. And if you need help, always reach out. Reach out. Someone can help you. Someone will help you. So don't forget, my darlings, the numbers are right there if you need to jot them down, if you need to pause the stream. And I want to thank you so much. And it's been a good night. It's been a good night. I'm going to be telling you some great stories, some history, paranormal, crime type stuff. We need a little break. And if you want a scary story or two, I got a couple of scary stories too, if I can talk. We'll do a couple of scary stories. So thanks again to the mods. Thanks again to all the new people coming in here. Much love to you, my darlings. I'll tell you what, I miss you when I don't see you. So I want to thank you again, and hang out for me. Will you do that? Because I have my little goodbye stream, and it helps me when you hang out to the end. So thanks so much, my darlings. Have a good evening. Eat well, sleep well, and be happy. Peace to everyone. See you soon. Bye.